Catch 'em all.
Yo, what is going on, you slackers? I am your host, Slackerz Gabe, and bringing you another episode of Rate Their Chances. If you haven't seen the series, real quick, every Sunday I do 2 episodes. Each episode focuses on one specific character. I go over some pros and cons, and then at the end I give my opinion in percentage points from 0 to 100 and what I believe the character has to become a playable character in the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. So without any further ado, let's jump into today's character. And as you can see on screen, the character today is Mach Rider, a good classic. Now, when I do these characters, I do like to go over quite a bit of different kind of, I guess, topics or check marks or boxes, you can say. And those things are popularity, relevance, moveset, stuff like that, So, yeah, and with Mach Rider, when talking to people about him, he's like moveset-wise. Let's start off with the moveset. So I think moveset's actually pretty decently. You could actually make an easy moveset for him. Yes, he does ride around on his motorbike. He does have kind of like Gatling guns or attached to the front of his bike, so you could get pretty creative with that kind of stuff. Maybe like a neutral B could just be shooting them the guns. And if some people think, okay, you know what, hey, the guns might not fit with the style of Smash Bros, they could kind of change it up a bit, so it's like a more of a futuristic kind of gun to fit the style of Smash. And well, his game does pretty much come from like a like an alien invasion, I believe. So, and he's like hunting down aliens. So you could change the projectiles of it to make it not so, I guess, graphic, you could say. But you could also use like the bike itself as pretty unique with his moveset. Just to kind of something off the top of my head, you could do like, I don't know if it'd be like a down smash or side smash, but you could make it like the bike does a wheelie and you could like charge it up for a couple seconds. The longer you charge it up, the faster it'll go, to whatever side you're charging it up on, and, the more damage it could possibly do. So, it could be like a dash attack, something like that would be pretty interesting to do. You could probably, if you wanted to, you could maybe take him off his bike, but is that, staying true to the character? That's another question, but you could take him off, I guess, shoulder dashes and, stuff like that to, I don't know, kind of fit, because he is a pretty manly man, if you do say so. Because, getting to another point here, he was actually considered for Melee. Sakurai did consider him at one point to be a playable character, but the reason he actually was considered was actually kind of funny. It wasn't because Sakurai really liked the character too much, it was more that the Mach Rider's name was actually just really funny to Sakurai, and that's why he considered him. So, is that a pro? I mean, I think it's got to be a pro. He was considered to be a playable character for the game. Doesn't matter if your name is funny or stupid or something like that. He was considered to be playable, so I think he's got that going for him in terms of retro reps. Which does lead to the next point. He would make a pretty good pick for a retro pick. When talking about retro picks, I mean, usually at the top of the list, it's characters like Excitebike or Balloon Fight, something like that. But Mach Rider does come up here and there. So I think, given, he's got moveset potential, and Sakurai has considered him, he'd be a good fit for a retro character. I think he's got some good stuff going for him, but plus the picture on screen, you can see he was actually a trophy in, was it just Melee? I don't know if he had any trophies in any other games, but at least he did have a trophy in Melee, so that does say something at least about him, right? So I guess with the pros out of the way, we got to move on to the cons, unfortunately. And he's got some, I guess you could say, big cons. And the first one has to be popularity. Yes, you could say, well, he's not popular, but he could work for a retro character, so does that really count too much? I think, when thinking of retro characters, retro has to mean, like a big or, a good part, a good history with Nintendo. And I mean, Mach Rider does fill that, but to an extent, because, another con, when thinking of if this game does get a retro rep, he's fighting with a lot of other extremely popular and previously considered, or maybe even in the game, retro characters such as Excitebike. He was the assist trophy in, what was that, Brawl, I believe. And then Balloon Fighter, who was also actually considered to be playable, I believe, for Melee for the retro rep. I could be wrong about that. I'd have to check my facts, but I mean, he's got quite a bit of competition, and arguably he's not at the top of the list for a retro pick. So I got to put that as a con, because the only way I think Mach Rider makes it in at this case would be from that retro pick. But to me, and I think a lot of other people, he's not even in the top 3 for retro picks. So, and with the roster this time around, not expected to be, heavily relied on a bunch of newcomers, like Sakura has stated, I think, his chances are very, very slim. And my personal opinion for Mach Rider, I gotta give him, I'm gonna go 15%. I can't see it, honestly. Just, I think there's too many things fighting his chances to get in the game. So I really can't see him being like an addition to the roster this time around. I really can't, unfortunately. I think the concept of him would be actually pretty cool to actually use. I mean, you could say the same thing for Excitebike, but just something unique, or a character that would be so unique that actually uses like some sort of motorbike as like their entire moveset would be pretty unique, very special in my opinion. So, but like I said, I think 15%. I really don't see Mach Rider. I don't see him having too good of a chance this time around, unfortunately. Sorry for any Mach Rider fans, but hey, that's what I got for this one. I will have another episode a little later today. I don't remember what character I did, but stay tuned for that. That will be coming out later. And I guess that is it for this one. Again, remember to leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. I will try to reply to as many as I can, because like I always say, I love talking about Smash Bros. Stuff. It's my favorite game, favorite franchise of all time. So yeah, with that being said, this one is coming to an end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.